In China, calligraphy is an art form developed over thousands of years, and it's very popular, more popular than its counterparts in Europe by far. Now, there were some heroes of calligraphy, and the undisputed heavyweight champion of them all was Wang Xizhi. And he's famous for having practiced just one character called Yong, and it means eternity. He felt that if one could write this character, then any character could be written well. Why? Because in this character is contained all the different kinds of strokes that are used in writing Chinese. There are 8 individual kinds of stroke, all together. 永字八法, which literally means infinite characters, 8 ways. That's a nifty little saying which actually uses yong. And it means that there are 8 strokes to write the whole language of Chinese, and a world of expression is out there. So it's not so complicated after all. Actually, the hardest part of learning to write in Chinese is not understanding anything complicated, but in staying patient and persevering. There's a story called Black Pool, in which a youngster named Jiang Zhi used to rinse his brushes in the courtyard pond after calligraphy class. Over time, the water of the pond actually turned black, and Jiang Zhi became one of China's most celebrated calligraphists. In order to become proficient in writing Chinese, many will buy tracing books such as these, with the writing of famous writers laid out. You'll often see in parks and squares around China, members of China's senior generation wielding a large sponge brush, practicing their script on the flagstones of water. This is a fascinating practice. Why do Chinese people, having studied and practiced calligraphy from a young age, still do so in their old age? Well, the answer lies in the phrase 字如其人. How a person writes is said to represent their nature. Song Huizong was China's most artistically accomplished emperor. Outside of his duties to his country and his people, there was also no art that was beyond his ability to master. Song Huizong was particularly fond of calligraphy, and he even created his own style, which he called shoujinqi, or slender gold, which sounds like a kind of brand of cigarettes from the 70s. Slim gold may be rather slender, but there's still a little meat on those bones. Rather like a fine painting, neat and graceful, but not without substance, showing Song Huizong to be a meticulous and proud man. Then, of course, there's a certain well-known revolutionary, military tactician, and philosophical intellectual, known as Mao Zedong. Add to that list of skills calligraphy. Mao Zedong's characters are very proud and full of momentum, much like the man was himself. In fact, in China, calligraphy is not simply a case of enjoyment, but also taste and appreciation. It's a means of attaining peace and refining the self. Calligraphy is the nurturing of steady control, perseverance, and composure. Only through these virtues can calligraphy be mastered. Apart from being something that can be displayed on the wall, like a painting, it also makes a really unique gift. Seeking out a master calligrapher to write a message or motto is a common practice in China. So next time you're stuck for ideas of what to give, you might want to consider entrusting the brush of a master calligrapher to deliver your sentiments in ink. Now, on top of all that history and weight, a lot of people like to paint it on themselves, perhaps to absorb some of that gravity that characters hold. Here's David Beckham behaving entirely appropriately at Peking University. 生死攸命, 富贵在天. This is something that he mentioned during an interview, and it basically means that everything is God's will, and even after one's best efforts, it's critical to go with the flow. The meaning of the character Zhong is this. In terms of heaven and earth, i.e. the physical world, reason, faith, duty, nationality, and also other people, the importance of undertaking responsibility and accountability in all of these factors. And of course, there are also those that get the wrong thing. 寡妇 means widow, and I think what they wanted to get was this. Now this means pain, except it's written wrong. And this guy's got the order wrong. It's all very well until you actually meet someone who speaks Chinese, isn't it? So be very careful before you get that tattoo. Perhaps check with a Chinese friend. Okay, so that's it for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave us a comment at the bottom. Send us your questions. We love hearing from you. And until next time, no matter what you do, keep this open. Bye-bye.